Oh, is that? Who is it? It's still me, I think. I guess this is all one show, kind of, even though it's three different shows. I forgot too for a second, to be honest with you. Welcome back into the PHLY Phillies post-game show. We just ended our watch along. Unfortunately, we can't just keep it going. We have to reset with new links and all that. So hopefully you transferred over with us as we ended on a weird note. But the Phillies are in the top of the ninth. 1 out, Jeff Hoffman on the mound, and my table does not want to just stand up on its own. But Renee, looks like the Phillies, this is a jinx-free statement, are on the doorstep here of sweeping the defending champions. Now 2 outs in the inning as Jeff Hoffman gets a K there. And Zack Wheeler really good. We talked about it in pregame going into this. You didn't really love the Rangers' odds today of coming in here in Philadelphia and getting the win with Andrew Haney on the mound versus Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler went out there and did Zack Wheeler things, gave the bullpen a nice, easy workload. Jose came in the 8th, Hoffman in the 9th, and the Phillies are on the doorstep here of closing this one out and sweeping the defending champs and continuing to be the best team in baseball. Hopefully moving to 37-14 on the year. Feels good to say that.
Mm-hmm. And I know our friends are in the chats that came over from the watch along. And I
love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Provolone John, Ray Schumacher, K Red, Chris Slemmer, Greg, A Lynch, Dave P. We're pouring into the post-game show because it is happening. Jeff Hoffman on the mound, closing out this sweep. And as was mentioned in the chat by K Red, it feels like they heard all the conversations about the quote-unquote easy schedule, and the Phillies just continue to show it doesn't matter who they're playing. They're putting teams away. They're not even giving them a win. They're sweeping. Sweep. You know how hard it is to beat somebody 3 times, 4 times? We saw them get a 4-game sweep. You know how hard it is to beat a team every single day? And the Phillies continue to do that. And now you're going up against the defending champs and the Rangers, a team who, you can make all the excuse in the world because they have had injuries and this, that, and the third. Doesn't matter. You're coming off of winning the World Series last year, and the Phillies are about to sweep them. So great to see. And sweet.
I don't know who sang that song, but I know what you're talking about.
You don't know how to sing.
You don't know that one?
I know the song. Who is that?
We do this every single time, James.
I know.
And I SNOOPDOGG.
Yeah, okay. I've heard of him.
Can you do that?
He's known for his Corona commercials, right?
Can you do the sweet? Can you hit that note? I'll just sip my beer.
Yeah, because this is exactly how this goes every time, and then Renee does the tongue click
is Pharrell
beat, right? Yeah, that one, and then nobody does it right, and then we move on.
Sweep. Is Pharrell a part of that?
Not that specific.
It sounds like Pharrell.
Song.
No, he's not in
when
on
the
that
pimp's
track.
in the grandma. Stop it like it's hot.
Yeah, well, that's the Phillies. They are an absolute wagon. As somebody in our Discord just said, 16-3 in the month of May.
Oh,
that is
and
ridiculous.
Only 2 of those games included Trey Turner. So you're doing this without one of your best guys.
It was 14-3 prior to, so 15-3 without Trey Turner.
Man.
And he's going to be back possibly next week. I don't know if you saw the footage last night on the game. I don't think they showed it today. Maybe they did. Of him doing the running cone drill. And there you have it. There's a pop fly. The Phillies win it. Edmundo Sosa clinches it. Jeff Hoffman gets the save. And the Phillies are 16-3 in May. It equals the 1892 team for best 35-game stretch in franchise history. They got their 7th sweep of the season, which equals their total from 2023.
Wow.
This team is enjoy the hell out of this. They're 29-6 in their last 35 games. I know eventually there's going to be, Renee and Tyler, a comeback to earth time where they're going to be normal-ish and maybe have some hiccups and maybe struggle. But the more and more I watch this team, maybe there won't be. Maybe they're just that fucking good, and they are going to win 110 games or 112 games.
Or 116.
and 116. I have the Mariners roster up because I was looking it over earlier. Maybe they are that good. I see no signs of them not being historically good. And I don't mean historically for the Phillies good because they've already been that. I mean, like, this has a chance to be like a special team because of what you're getting from all It's like a golf game. You know, your tee box, your wedges and irons, and then your putting. There's 3 phases. And the Phillies' 3 phases are offense, pitching, and bullpen. And, you know, defense is a part of that too. But, like, those 3 phases are all great. And when one isn't great, the other one can pick it up. You know, like, they just work kind of perfectly together. It's a special group. This is going to be a really fun year. Let's not, worry about what's going to happen in the playoffs. Let's enjoy this summer ahead because the Phillies are an absolute beast.
That's where I'm at now because, of course, we always can have the concerns.
Hoffman's going to get the wet bandit treatment.
We can always have the concerns about how this is going to translate into the postseason, but that's not a problem for today. It is May 23rd. It's, we're getting ready for Memorial Day weekend. We're not even at the All-Star break and trade deadline. Like, there's so much that's going to change throughout the course of the season. But most importantly, the right now is what we do know. And this team to have 7 total series sweeps all of 2023. And by May 23rd, you've already gotten 7 series sweeps. You cannot make excuses about the strength of schedule or anything like that because you're playing the best of the best. Major League Baseball, there are no slouches. We just saw the Rockies, go off and have a few wins. We saw the Orioles drop off and have some loss. Like, everybody's having these highs and lows, yet the Phillies are just right now remaining very steady. And so I think for me, the optimistic part that I'm going to continue to say until I'm blue in the face, which is going to take a long time if that doesn't happen, the Phillies aren't just winning with 1 or 2 guys. And it's not these flukes or them stumbling into wins. You can literally point to 3, 4, 5, 6 different guys every day that are contributing to their wins. Today, Nick Castellanos gets a home run. Jeff Hoffman, closes out the game. You can literally point across the board to different guys that are. Edmundo Sosa continues to step up and give great at-bats. It's not just one person. And so it's fun to watch. And guys, just enjoy the moment because, yes, it is another victory post-game show for us here. It never gets old. It's a lot of fun to be a part of. And we're in the middle of history. We're in the middle of history right now, which is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It's, it's just, we deserve it. But I also feel spoiled that we get to do so many post games where we don't have to have anger and question some of Rob Thompson's decisions and why did you go to this bullpen arm? Why'd you do that? It's like they have 4 guys in the bullpen that are studs. You have guys on the lineup who, Alec Boehm's leading Major League Baseball in RBIs and Bryce Harper's like 7th or 8th.
Yep. They were top. Yeah, they were both top. 10 at the very lowest.
You have the most runs scored in baseball. You have one of the best bullpens in baseball. You have the best starting rotation in baseball. I like being spoiled. This is fun. I'm enjoying this very much. But it's just they're a complete team. There really isn't. Now there's guys that are underperforming still, which is wild. But there is no holes in this team. We're about to get June Schwarber. That beast is about to awaken. Nick Castellanos hit the ball really hard today. He's been slumping. Whit Merrifield, who knows if he turns the corner at this point. I'm less than optimistic. Johan Rojas offensively, not ideal either, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Edmundo Sosa is coming in picking guys up. Cody Clemens is coming in and picking guys up. It's special. This is a special ball club we have.
Yeah, it's great to see because, again, it's not the same. And I think it's not the same person every day. And I think something that we have to keep in mind when we talk about Nick Castellanos, Johan Rojas, Yoro, Christian Pache, the different guys that are, the bottom, somebody's got to be struggling. You're not going to have a team where everybody's playing perfect. Somebody's got to be that bottom of the group. And if this is their bottom, a Nick Castellanos, who we've notoriously seen Nick go through the ups and downs and the slumps, a young Yoro, who this is his first full season with the Phillies in the major leagues. He's obviously been working on a lot with his at-bats, his fielding. So you can justify this.
How do you feel about the Yoro thing that's not really taking off? I noticed that you really still push it at every opportunity? I know Michael Barkan gave you some love in the one post-game show. He shouted out, "Yo, Ro!" How do you feel about it? Are you a little hurt that it hasn't taken off more?
How long did it take the Phillies to take off as a team?
6 games.
No, I mean, in their history. You jerk. The Phillies didn't wake up this good. This didn't happen overnight. You always talk about the decades.
So you're going with Rome wasn't built in a day.
I'm going for it. Right.
Okay.
I don't care. It's going to take time.
So you're going to stick with it?
Yes.
Okay. It's
because right now, Yoro is not the major headline as much because there's so much other things going on. But don't worry. We're going to be talking about Yoro. We're going to have those big moments. Give him time. Okay. We didn't get to June Yoro yet.
I just want to do a little vibe check with you to see, like, because you're pushing it hard, and just checking in on you. Mental check.
Listen, we know very well that when it comes to Philly sports, it's going to take time, and if it means that it's going to take some time for Yoros to stick as a nickname, so be it.
Yeah,
so be it. And I'm not worried about it, because
Christian Pache with a nice little day.
He doesn't get a nickname.
Yeah, he's just kind of.
So, what is the requisite for a nickname then?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's got to have a cool ring to it. Like I feel like Yoro
so
is like
it's not a skill based thing.
Well, it is also skill based. Like you have to earn a nickname, and that's why I don't have a nickname for Whit. He's not there. I had some for Nick, but you haven't heard me bring out his nicknames because he's not there either.
Wait, Nick has nicknames?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I call him like Cassie Clutch and Chef Casty.
Just Casty, I think is kind of. The nickname.
Well, you know what, guys? There's one thing that you don't have to worry about of questioning your judgment and making you feel like your decisions are great. That's over with the GameTime app, because at the GameTime app, you can always make the great decisions in buying those last-minute tickets. And as we are continuing to watch all the excitement around this historic start to the season for Yoro and the Phillies, you can enjoy some great prices over at the GameTime app. The GameTime app is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball. They make getting tickets faster and easier for you. And also prices on the GameTime app are very low. They give you that low price guarantee. They give you great last minute deals. So if you want to take in a beautiful day of baseball and you want to show up at the ballpark, you can do so with the GameTime app, that you can show up, get those tickets, and be ready to get inside and have some fun. Because with the GameTime app, they also provide you the chance, in addition to those low prices, to see your seat. So now you know where you're going to be sitting at Citizens Bank Park. You also get the ease of knowing when you show up at the door, at the gates, you're going to have right on your app, right on your phone, your tickets, easy to scan and get inside. I've made that mistake a few times of getting to the gate
My wife's done that.
And I'm fumbling trying to get my tickets pulled up. You don't have to worry about that with the GameTime app. Don't be that person in line that's holding up the rest of the line or has to step to the side. That was me, to pull up your tickets. So browse the GameTime app and be able to find some great deals for comedy shows, concerts, games, events, anything. And most importantly, take the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code PHLY to get you $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create that account, use the code PHLY, and get $20 off. When you download GameTime today, you get last-minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed.
Yes, and let me tell you about our friends over at Mortgage CS, because these guys are awesome. I even recommended them to my own blood. My sister has reached out to Alec and Ben at Mortgage CS, and she's entering this highly competitive spring housing market. Goes into the summer. It's house hunting season, as people say. And look, what matters more than ever is having people on your side that can help you through this, that can educate and empower you so you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel uninformed, you don't feel like you're missing out. And even if you're already in the market, you can explore other options. I wish I had talked to them a couple years ago when we took out our HELOC to redo our kitchen. Mortgage CS is an independent mortgage broker in the Philly area. That means they're not just going to force you to one mortgage option or what's best for them. They're going to do what's best for you because they control who they work with, and they work for you at the end of the day, not the banks. Ben and Alec are going to ensure you have a rock-solid pre-approval, because don't even go look in the market without a pre-approval these days. And they're going to take the time to explore anything you want. What a novel idea from Alec and Ben. That's why Mortgage CS is the mortgage concierge service. The real estate market is competitive, and you can rely on Mortgage CS to help you understand where you can be flexible on your offers to buy a house without having to take on unnecessary risks. In the end, I promise you're going to be happy that you texted Ben. His number's right there on the screen. He's the CEO of Mortgage CS, and he is a workaholic in the best possible way. You want a workaholic in your corner when you're going into the housing market. Text him anytime, 267-391-7425. There's a reason people win more with Mortgage CS. So call or text Ben whenever, 267-391-7425, and see for yourself. You can also go to mortgagecs.com/PHLY and check them out, as they have over 370 plus perfect 5-star reviews by searching Mortgage CS right now. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Mortgage CS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS ID 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com for more information.
Renee, by the way,
breaking news.
You got a good good to see Tyler Nolan's comment there.
I see the stuff going on here in the chat.
Happening?
There's some breaking news that's going on in the chat. So first of all, first things first, I want to clarify to Anthony Camuccio, who said that my nicknames are whack and that I blow.
No, that's not nice.
That's
Anthony.
not nice
Come
at all.
on.
Listen, my nicknames are what they are. Nicknames aren't for everybody. You don't have to like my nicknames. It's okay. Sam's mentioning how he wishes.
Let's be a gentleman, Anthony.
Thank you, Jamie.
Come on.
Sam's mentioning how he wishes we could be there in 2 weeks for the London series. We do wish that as well. We unfortunately won't be there, but we will be with our buddies at Gall & Co., where you guys can hang with us for live shows. We'll have a watch party, pregame show, watch party, and postgame show at Gall & Co. The details are on our website at allphly.com, where you can see which locations we'll be at for which day, for Saturday and Sunday. And then Yoro is being discussed in the chat because I missed it, but apparently McCarthy said Yoro yesterday, K-Red is saying.
Oh, so
I missed that. I don't know how I missed it.
Okay, I missed that too.
So guys, just remember where you heard it first, because all it takes is I keep planting the seeds in people's heads. I was telling Matt from Gall & Co. Obviously, I had told a number of the Phillies staff and some players, like, Yoro is it. So just give it some time, because as Tyler Nolan saying, eventually be saying future Hall of Famer Johan Rojas or future Hall of Famer Yoro. You never know. And then
I hope
so. That'd be lovely. Tyler Nolan's being optimistic. I like it. And then also we're talking about the fact that the Phillies haven't been able to beat teams over 500, how we would like to see them beat teams over 500. Well, given that there are in total 12 teams over 500 at this moment, 7 in the AL, 5 in the NL, the Phillies being one of them, there's a lot of teams beating teams that are not over 500 right now. The truth is, at least they're winning. They're getting sweeps, and it's not really close games. Like yesterday and today, actually this entire series, you never felt like the Phillies were going to lose the game. And that's the World Series champs that you're beating, So this team is doing a really good job of, keeping the pressure on and, putting teams away. And then the last thing from the chat, Jamie, is Witt did get some nicknames that were thrown out there that I thought were pretty interesting. Dave P said Walter Witt. Colin, I think, wins it. Witt Barely Field.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Jonathan Might said Shit Merrifield.
I like that
because
one.
everyone's saying their Witt nicknames are not great. So, okay, we'll keep trying out some nicknames.
Yeah, with one hit ball in the year over 100 miles an hour. Like, even Nick Castellanos, who's struggled undoubtedly, hopefully is turning a corner here today. He had almost 3 balls over 100 miles an hour today. And that's a guy that's struggling. Witt has been struggling for the whole year and has 1 hit over 100 miles an hour off the bat. That's just not great. I'm starting to believe that Witt may be what he is at this point, and that's probably going to be a somewhat unplayable person come playoff time. But for $8 million and regular season versatility and at least some level of competence, it's fine. You can't go, oh, I wouldn't have signed Whit Merrifield. No, he kind of perfectly utility man fit this roster. Bryce Harper wanted him here. He's going to be here. All you can do now is just hope he turns the corner and starts hitting the ball effectively. But I'm pessimistic.
Let's call it for what it is. Is Whit Merrifield going to make or break the Phillies season? No. And at 35 years old, you didn't expect to get him, unlike JT, aging in reverse. He does on the season have 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, a 5.50 OPS, and a 191 batting average. He hasn't given great production. I mean, you look at the numbers and just how he kind of is out there and you don't really notice him unless you notice him doing something bad and not giving you any good at-bats. For the month of May, he's had 7 hits total in the month of May. He's scored 5 runs of those 7, so that's a decent percentage of the times that you're able to get on base.
I think that speaks more to his teammates picking him up.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does. But it's 6 walks that he's had, which actually is how he has scored, been on base to even score runs. He's not giving you even hits. But I think that exactly as you mentioned, Jamie, ultimately his role is to be able to help in the longevity of this season to be that versatile piece for the Phillies. But come playoff time, you're not making or breaking any postseason run around Whit Merrifield. No. So if that's our frustration point, we'll take that. You have an Edmundo Sosa playing well. Cody Clemens, we've been getting great production from him. I mean, he did have, this series hasn't been as great for him as last, but overall, there's plenty of pieces there. You're getting distracted.
Totally
Tyler, please
distracted.
turn the TV because
there's 3 people shot in Kensington, and there's footage of the accident.
I would literally turn it off or do something. I could just watch you slowly. I was losing Jamie over here.
I mean, are you seeing this footage? This guy's on a motorcycle, goes in the center lane, gets hit by a car, and then gets out shooting people.
It was a motorcycle chase.
And then he gets out and starts hitting.
This was a motorcycle chase.
Wow. Sorry.
So accidentally,
that wasn't just like any news story that that was like footage of a
It's funny because the more I was talking, I was watching.
Like my eyes get bigger. I was like, oh my God.
So we still had NBC on our TV. So Jamie was getting lost in the news broadcast about 3 people that got shot in Kensington.
Hope everybody's all right.
Yeah, but I don't think so. That didn't look great.
No,
but yeah,
it didn't.
These are the types of things that allow you to make moves. I know we even talked about the future for Cody Clemens and looking ahead. Listen, ultimately, it's going to work itself out. Mm-hmm. Whit Merrifield, when Trey Turner returns, what happens with Christian Pache, what happens with Cody Clemens? These questions that we have will get resolved in due time. The trade deadline's still coming up. It's a very long season. Jobs are out there to be won.
Somebody in our Discord just said, "Focus, Jamie."
You were really struggling.
When you're on the internet broadcasting for like 5 hours and you go from watch along like light vibes to like now more, I guess, formal post game duties. Sorry, I thought we were kind of in zone out mode there a little bit. But yeah, lots of good things happening. And one of those good things today was Zack Wheeler. Mm-hmm. I love pulling up their pitch chart after games because of how many freaking pitches the staff throws. And, obviously it's a credit to the pitchers on the staff. It's also a credit to Caleb Cotham and the developmental staff for getting these guys to not only believe in it, but like execute it, do it, and develop it. Zack Wheeler, 6 pitches thrown today. He threw his 4-seam fastball 42% of the time for 38 pitches. His average velocity was almost 96 miles an hour. So he was throwing a little bit of extra gas today. His yearly average on that fastball is now at 94.8. So, he's not losing anything. He's actually up a little bit from last year at this time. And then he threw the cutter 16% of the time, sinker 16% of the time, curveball 9%, sweeper 9%, splitter 8%. So, we talked about Ranger the other day. And part of what makes him so good and having hitters so off balance and just kind of flailing at pitches, when you throw 6 pitches, that's really hard to, part of hitting is, knowing the count and situation and knowing the opposition and the pitcher and knowing what they like to throw in certain accounts. With this Phillies staff, it seems like batters really have no idea what's coming when.
Correct.
Whether it's a hitter's count, a pitcher's count, they're just uncomfortable versus the Phillies rotation. So it's great to look at a post-game, stat sheet here and see 6 different pitches thrown by Zack Wheeler. And I mean, he was damn good. Adolis Garcia took him yard, and then Bryson Stott just missed one that he snow coned in the infield. But a couple hard hit balls. I think Tavares hit one pretty hard. For the most part, that's a great game. And it's just in the course of this season, it's oh yeah, Zack Wheeler. Yeah, he was good again today.
So one of the things too, guys, I don't know if you've noticed it over the last, let's say the last 2 seasons particularly, they have almost put a precedent on the fact that every single one of these guys on the staff has to throw one of 3 pitches now. You either have to have a sweeper, you have to have a cutter, or you have to throw a splitter. It's one of those three.
Cotham's at the forefront of the sweeper movement in baseball.
So if you look across their staff, find me a guy on that team that doesn't throw one of those 3 pitches. Now, I will say the
splitter is new for Wheeler this year,
as it is for Jeff Hoffman as well. I mean, well, which is not as new, but it's newer for Jeff Hoffman.
Since he's been Philly new.
Yes, yeah. So the one guy that you can pinpoint to that group is Aaron Nola.
Sure.
Who, I mean, throws the cutter, doesn't throw it a ton, but throws the cutter. Chris Sanchez doesn't throw the cutter a ton either. He's mostly sinker changeup as well. But most of these guys, when they're coming, either the guys that are coming out of the bullpen or the other 3 starters and Turnbull for that matter, throw one of those 3 pitches at a varying level degree of success, but they're all throwing it.
Yeah. I mean, look, Zack Wheeler now has a that's JT stats. Zack Wheeler now has a 2.53 ERA on the season. He's got 76 Ks. He's got a .98 whip and a 6.3 record, which is tied for 8th across the league. And in the month of May, because I love looking at it as like a big picture view, it's not just one game. He's given up 10 runs and 18 hits in the month of May. And the majority of those came against the Marlins in that Sunday game that he wasn't good, period, where he gave up 6 runs on 6 hits. Zack Wheeler has been great. That's why this pitching staff as a whole, we talked about it yesterday, I believe it was. You know, last year at this point, the Phillies pitching staff had an ERA around like a 4.27. This year it's down to like a 2-something.
It was 2.63 going into this game, which we talked about yesterday would be good as a staff. Would be good for the 16th best ERA in baseball. Talking about individuals, their staff rotation is the 16th best individual ERA. Right.
And by the way, guys, I do have to make one amendment. I thought that Hoffman's splitter was closer to new with the Reds. He's actually been throwing it since 2020.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit more of a frequently used pitch than I thought. You know, dating back in his
he
his
made
career.
It better here, we'll say that.
Well, that's fair. I mean, so
he made everything better.
Well,
here.
I will give you this. So over the course of his career, 2019 his splitter was a -5 run value. 2020, it was a -1. 2021, it was a 0. So you see it going in the right direction. His final year with the Reds, it was also a 0. Last year, it was a 4, which was his career best. This year, it's back to a 0, but it's still basically run value, meaning it's a league average pitch. I think in that regard, with his particular splitter, I think it's just because it's a small sample size. He's only thrown 37 of them. I think it's better than a league average pitch.
Well, I love the fact that we're seeing how Hoffman has translated into really owning his role on this team, because he had spoken even before the season about just trying to get out of his own head. And much like Bryce Harper with his London telephone booth metaphor, Jeff Hoffman said he also had to kind of go through that of learning how to just be present. And he said not even just in baseball, even with his family, with his kids. And you do get that vibe from him. Like we wondered if last year's numbers by Jeff Hoffman would continue this year. And they have. He's been doing a really good job. Him and Jose have really locked in that when they're coming into the game, you know it's over. You know, it's a wrap, game over, locked in, winning this game. You don't ever feel nervous with them. And whether, regardless who's first and second out of that group to close out the game, you know you're going to get a really strong pitching performance. You're going to get a win and good things are coming your way, because Jeff Hoffman feels like, I think he kind of needed, last year was a chance for him to settle in. And for as well as he pitched last year, I think this year is him feeling that confidence, feeling that groove, feeling like he belongs, knowing his role, and leaning into that. And so by no surprise, as you guys jokingly say, like, yes, we've gotten a better Hoffman, but I think it's because when you're also a part of a team like this, on top of you, like, locking into being present in the moment, how much more special can it be to be present in the moment on a team that now 51 games in is setting all this history dating back to the start of the modern era, and even further than that, of the numbers that they're producing, to be a part of a pitching staff that's having a remarkable start, bullpen arms, starting pitching. It's been beautiful. So, that winning and that success is contagious, and the guys are feeding off of it. You can see it. The vibes are high. It looks like it's a good time right now for the Phillies.
And guys, I've said before, I think that...
Where are you, Oz?
He was down by the wings over here.
Yeah, I did see it before.
Here we go again.
Where's that voice coming? Oh, hi, Tyler.
I've said it before. I think that obviously Hoffman's in a contract here, so he's going to get paid like a closer. And I think that there are going to be offers from other teams then they're going to come out and they're going to say, hey, listen, we are offering you a definable role as our team's ninth inning closer every single night, or close to, as close to it as you possibly can. I would also venture a guess that other teams are going to offer big time money.
Yes.
What I will say is the Phillies are going to need to be willing to pay Jeff Hoffman like a closer, even though he's not a closer. He can be a closer. We've seen it. He did it today. We've seen it in the past. He's got the stuff. He's got the makeup. I trust him almost implicitly in just about every single role.
Yeah,
but
and now you're going to Matt Strom extension, and that's a great one.
Right. So
he's not paid like buco bucks.
You're going to overpay Jeff Hoffman.
What's Alvarado's situation?
You're going to overpay Jeff Hoffman to keep him because, again, I think that somebody is somewhere.
To do that.
Yeah, and it's in the Major League Baseball. It's just money.
Yeah, exactly. Not our money. I know in the chat while you're looking up Jose's numbers, it was mentioned by Jeff Jones
still have years on
about the Phillies' schedule looking ahead. Well, now that they did sweep the Rangers and take care of business, for anybody that's hearing the narrative around the strength of schedule,
John Heyman last night.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous!
Wet diaper award goes to John Heyman. Well, the Phillies are playing really good right now, but that strength of schedule.
You're playing the same teams that everybody else plays across the league. So whether you're playing them first, second, last, whatever, it doesn't matter. The Phillies do, of course, as we know, have the Rockies up next. Then they're going to be playing the Giants, Cardinals, Brewers to get into June. Now, the stretch following their London series, when they return back June 9th from playing the Mets, they have an interesting stretch. For anybody that wants to complain about the strength of schedule, this should be a great test. The Red Sox, the Orioles, the Padres, the Diamondbacks. And of course, some of those are not home, so you're doing some traveling and things like that. But that could be a stretch. Even the Detroit Tigers, where you're starting to play some other teams that you haven't been able to play yet. And I'm excited for them to continue to prove to people it's not the strength of schedule.
Yeah, you know who knows ball? Jeff Passan, who just addressed the Phillies' ridiculous tear that they're on. He just tweeted about 20 minutes ago, the Philadelphia Phillies just finished the sweep of the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers. The Phillies have won 29 of its last 35 games and are 37-14 on the season. It doesn't really matter what your opponent's records are when you're emasculating them every single day. Jeff Passan knows ball. The Braves have had some of the same. I saw somebody tweet it last night, and I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like the Braves have also played these three teams, just like the Phillies. The Phillies' records in these games are like 11-3. The Braves' record is 9-7. The Braves are a very good baseball team. They didn't have the same success versus a poor team that the Phillies are. And that's the point here is it doesn't matter. They're still professionals.
Right.
The Texas Rangers are professionals. They have very good baseball players.
They just won the World
They haven't
Series.
clicked yet this season. They've had a lot of injuries.
But
yada, yada, yada. But it doesn't matter. They're they have a good core. They won the title last year. And the Phillies just swept them without a doubt. They embarrassed them last night. I wouldn't say today was embarrassing, but there was never really a moment of, oh, man, are the Phillies going to win this? No, they answered it within basically an inning of tying it back up.
Again.
And then they took advantage of situations. Again. This is what they do every single night, and they're blowing people's doors off. And if you wanted to, take advantage on betting some of these guys, right now when I head to the BetPARX Sportsbook, I see Zack Wheeler plus 200 to win the Cy Young. Ranger Suarez plus 400 to win the Cy Young. Hopefully you hopped on that when we started talking about Ranger as plus 10,000 to win the Cy Young. Whatever it is you're looking for, BetPARX has got you covered. Money is in the moments. Tonight, now that you took those Phillies winnings, hopefully from today, which all three of us thought they were going to win because it was a Zack Wheeler game, and Phillies are really good in Zack Wheeler games. Maybe you want to roll it into the Pacers-Celtics game tonight. We talked about it earlier. The Celtics were minus 8.5. That is up to 9 now. The game tomorrow night. And then, of course, you got Oilers Stars if you're a Pucksman. You got Champions League still happening. You can get in on soccer, tennis, golf, whatever it may be. BetPARX has got you covered. Win your first $10 bet and win $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun. You love to win. You bet with BetPARX. Download the app and play along with us. Must be 21 or older. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And if you're also looking for help with your digestive system, our friends over at Olipop, who are right here over my shoulder, are the ones that can help you with that, because 2 out of 3 Americans are dealing with digestive health issues. 95% say they don't get the amount of fiber that they need. And with Olipop, you get 9 grams of fiber per can, 2 to 5 grams of sugar per can. So it's healthy for you, and it also tastes delicious. The best parts about Olipop, they've got plenty of flavors and options for you. I always tell people there is a flavor that works for you, whether as a mixer, with ice cream as a root beer float, or straight as a nice refreshing soda. The world's first functional soda in Olipop has a lot with their classic soda taste. You can try out their classic grape, their root beer, their Dr. Goodwin, the lemon lime. Maybe you want to drink their ginger ale. Lots of healthy options. I just took it to my family the other day. I brought them a box of Olipops with all these different flavors. And they're like, oh, this is really good. Everybody that I've had try Olipop down at the tailgates, family, friends, strangers that I've given Olipop to, they all say the same thing. Wow, this is really, really good. I wasn't expecting this. In fact, many were expecting to have an aftertaste, because most healthy drinks give you some weird aftertaste. And they were even saying, I'm going to chug this so I don't get that aftertaste. I was like, no aftertaste. No gimmicks or tricks. Olipop is just that good. So you can take advantage of all the healthy benefits that come with Olipop today by using the code PHLY20 for 20% off of your next order. That discount does only apply to one-time orders, not to subscription orders. Olipop is sold online at drinkolipop.com, on Amazon, and it is also available in almost 30,000 retailers nationwide. Wawa, Target, Sprouts, GoPuff, ShopRite, where you can find Olipop. So again, PHLY20 gets you 20% off when you use Olipop. And Jamie, I've got something for you that I was looking up, because I know in the chat, Stephen Garrison was saying
chat is humming right now. People are horny for the Phils.
I know. He's saying the Red Sox are just eh. So here's the other part, the counter to the strength of schedule conversation. The Phillies play the Dodgers. They've got 2 series against them. They've got 2 more series against the Braves. They have 2 against the Cubs. There is a July stretch that's Cubs, Braves, Dodgers. That is also going to be a tough stretch. Don't get me wrong. Realistically, for anybody, and I'm not saying people in our chat are doing this, but my hypothetical question for people that are saying they're playing quote-unquote easy teams, who do you want them to play? Because there's about 4 teams. Right. There's about 4 teams. The Yankees, the Orioles, the Braves, the Dodgers, that you probably are going to say, oh, those are the tough teams. So who are they supposed? They're not supposed to play any games outside.
I want them to make their own schedule and play only the tough teams.
Right, because outside of those 4 teams, what are they supposed to do? Sit around and twiddle their thumbs? They've got to play 162 games just like everybody else. Everybody plays the Marlins. Everybody plays the Rangers, who is just below 500 thanks to the Phillies. Yeah. The Phillies put the Reds below 500. They're putting teams under 500. So this stupid excuse of like the strength of schedule makes 0 sense, because you got to play everyone. What are you going to just say, oh, nope, I'm not going to play the Rockies in this next series. We just swept the Rangers. I don't want to play the Rockies, because the Rockies right now aren't above 500.
By the
They're
way,
a
the
team
Houston Astros
that is
just got
16 and
swept
32.
by the Rockies. So, like, to the point, yeah. Well,
like, who is a good team that you're supposed to play? The Diamondbacks are sitting at 24 and 26. They're coming off of making it to the World Series last year.
I still can't believe we fucking lost to the
Diamondbacks.
I know.
I'm sorry. I should have said that. The Red Sox are actually over 500 for the record, even though they are struggling. Who are you going to play? The Guardians are doing well. You can't just play the 11 other teams, that are over 500 right now.
Yeah.
So
hello, yes, Rob Manfred. I would like to only exclusively play good teams for the rest of the year.
Who are these good teams that people are saying the Phillies have to play? Because you play everybody. You only get to play who's in front of you.
So we talked about the month of May. Here's how the Phillies have fared in the month of May over the past couple of years in the Harper era of Phillies. In 2021, and this is an old friend Haley Simon put this out. 2021, the Phillies were 12 and 16 in the month of May. In 2022, the Phillies were 10 and 18 in the month of May. In 2023, Renee, just a year ago, the Phillies were 10 and 16 in the month of May. They are 17 and 3 this year in the month of May. And kudos to the Phillies. You know, after the first 6 games of the year, they talked about all spring training, how they wanted to compete for the division. They wanted to come out of spring training hot. And after that first 10 days of the season, you were going, man, all that talk about starting hot. And they have just taken off like a bleeping rocket ship. And they are unbelievable. 17 and 3 in the month of May. pinch me because this doesn't feel real, even though I know it's real and it's spectacular.
Well, there are some other streaks that they are continuing to set because, as we've talked about, not only are they winning games, they're not squeezing past teams.
No,
they have
as
had
Jeff
some
Bassett
games,
said,
obviously,
emasculating people.
They obviously had emasculating. They have had some games that have gone to extra innings, but it's a long season. You're not going to roll past everyone. So something that Matt Gelb did put out, the Phillies pitching staff, as we know, have been consistently able to pitch 7+ innings. The starting pitchers we've seen going 7 innings, 8 innings, complete game shutouts, whatever it takes to help them win. So the Phillies have now had 18 starts. 18. They were on a streak of 3 in a row that did break with Taijuan Walker's inability to go into 7 innings yesterday, but we saw Zach go 7 today. 18 starts this season where their pitchers have gone 7+ innings. There are 11 teams that had less than that in all of 2023, where they were not able to have their starting pitchers go 18 games of 7+ innings. I mean, it's remarkable, and it's by committee. It's not flashy, to be honest. Yesterday was more of a flashy game. I felt like, you had some, but a game like today,
who everybody seems to hate. But the Phillies
won 11-4.
The Phillies win percentage in Taijuan Walker starts. Sometimes when things are good, you find a couple spots that aren't as great, and you really pick on them and hyper focus as this guy sucks. And everybody kind of has chosen Taijuan Walker as the black sheep of the.
Of course, because we need someone to blame.
But they win all the games he plays, and they did it again yesterday. He goes down 2-0 early, and I'm going, oh no, is this a Spencer Turnbull long relief appearance type of game? And then the Phillies offense just goes, nah, never mind. We got you, Taijuan. Don't worry about this. Boom. Next thing you know, they're winning 11-4. It's really just kind of unbelievable what this team is doing. Every facet, from Edmundo Sosa, who was hitting piss missiles all over the diamond today.
Yeah.
Hits that home run last night, which was wildly impressive. On a good pitch, low and outside, he takes it and sends it into the right center field for a 3-run shot that pretty much ended the game. Cody Clemens steps up, whether it's in Cincinnati on his first call-up or this second call-up. He gets rewarded with playing second base more and more. He can play outfield first, emergency catch, short. Everybody is contributing to this team. It really is probably one of the more special Phillies teams we'll ever see.
It is, and just enjoy the moment. I know we keep saying that, but I want to make sure, there are a lot of, I hear whether it's shows or people on Twitter or whatever that are so ready to focus on the things we cannot control. We do not know, guys. We do not know what's going to happen in October. We do not know how Rob Thompson's going to manage the games and, what the rotation is going to look like and how will the bats be hot? We have no idea. But what we do know right now is this team is off to an incredible start. They keep passing historic numbers individually and collectively as a team. And it's hard to even find a bad thing to say. It's hard to even pinpoint a guy that's frustrating to watch, because even the quote unquote bottom struggling players, if you want to put Taijuan Walker in there coming off of an injury, if you want to put Nick Castellanos, who hit a home run today, if you want to put Christian Pache, who also got an RBI double, you can't even pick a guy that you're consistently saying they're struggling. Whit Merrifield is probably that guy, to be honest. But he's not an everyday player. He's your utility piece.
If we're complaining about
that
bench
plays
players.
6 pieces. That's a rotation piece for you. So good times continue. I know in the chat you guys are sharing all your thoughts on Steven's bringing out NLCS prediction for Phillies versus Brewers in the NLCS. I know Kevin at iRock Philly, you're talking about Turnbull and how they, you wish that they would have left him alone. They're talking about Taijuan Walker. The good thing is these are the minor gripes we have, but the Phillies keep winning.
Yeah, to circle back on the thing we were talking about earlier, Jose Alvarado, by the way, is under control through 2026 at a very affordable number. Matt Strom is a phenomenal deal there in the bullpen. And then obviously Orion, you have control of for a while. So to Tyler's point about overpaying Jeff Hoffman, yeah, you might have the luxury to do that. The other two you have to consider for long term. And one of them you probably aren't going to be able to swing, I would think, is Ranger Suarez and Alec Boehm. You're going to have to make a decision there because these guys are earning. You talk about Hoffman earning money. He certainly is. Spencer Turnbull is going out there and earning some money. Alec Boehm and Ranger Suarez are earning big boy buku bucks.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, ideally, you hope you can keep this core together, but reality says probably not. But regardless, the bullpen's set up for a pretty nice little while here. And Jose's only making $9 million a year for the next 3 years, this year included. So the bullpen's in good shape. Starting rotation, Ranger, you get 1 more year after this. And then, you probably address an extension with them this offseason because you want to keep this team together because every player of the game before Stott and Marsh get to him is saying, like, man, like JT said it last night when he got interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've never really, been a part of a team that is this good and the guys just love coming to work and playing with one another.
Yeah.
And you hear it from every single guy in that locker room. Like, they love one another. The vibes in there are immaculate. And if Garrett Stubbs gets credit for the vibes, I know a lot of people say Kyle Schwarber does. Whoever it is, Rob Thompson, and we talked about his brilliance and leadership last night in the post-game show, saying, like, 116 games is great, but it doesn't matter if you don't win the World Series.
Bingo.
Like, they just all get it. And it's kind of the perfect storm.
Yeah. And, at the end of the day, the fact that you're seeing so many different guys that are able to just feed off of each other, the bats are hot. The bats are heated up, guys. It's hitting season.
It's officially open,
it is hitting season. And also just the success that we've seen. So coming into today's game, JT had 20 RBIs, 7 home runs. Of course, he's also on a hitting streak, now a 13-game hitting streak, which I believe is an all-time career high for him.
I think it is. I think 12
because his 12 was tying his career high. So he's on a career high 13-game hitting streak at 33 years old, aging in reverse. With a 2.85 average and a 7.92 OPS, Nick Castellanos actually was coming into today with 5 home runs and 20 RBIs also. So as much as we even talk about Nick Castellanos' struggles, because yes, he has a 206 average and a 590 OPS, in terms of production,
not great.
In terms of production, he's now got 6 home runs, 21 RBIs because it was a single homer that he hit. Nick Castellanos is giving what you need. Now for the price point, totally not great. But for
not my money
at all. And for what the rest of the team is giving, you have, JT, Nick, the RBIs, the home runs are there. The runners in scoring position, they've been doing better with that. It's been fun to see. So.
Yeah, it really has. So a quick look ahead. Tomorrow I'm actually off because it's my daughter's pre-K graduation and we're spending the day with her.
Gonna cry.
Yeah. Well, we set the odds earlier on the BetPARX Sportsbook at plus 115 of me not crying, minus 145 that I do cry. So I will be out tomorrow, but Tyler and Renee have post-game duties.
So hold on, Jamie. Is it anytime cry or
anytime cry?
Anytime
yeah,
cry.
Yeah,
okay.
Like anytime tomorrow.
Oh, I'm taking yes for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime cry. 100%.
Yeah, anytime. But then the Phillies do.
Wait, do you take her to school and then you're not with her, so you're not going to see her?
The graduation
in her
is like
gown.
an hour and a half after.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna cry when she comes out for the first time and she's waving, Daddy,
strong possibility.
I'm trying to egg him on.
Yeah,
Daddy,
yeah.
look at me, I'm graduating.
So Tyler and Renee got you covered. John Foley is going to join the show tomorrow night. But the Phillies do have the Colorado Rockies coming to town, to quote Bill Giles. They stink. The probable pitchers for this weekend series. Tomorrow night, you get Christopher Sanchez versus Ty Blech. Then Saturday, a little 9-10 action out in DNVR. You get Aaron Nola versus Dakota Hudson. He sucks. Philly should have a blast.
You just interrupt just sucks because I feel like it's basically what you're
doing. You know
doing.
where that started? Wings games.
Oh,
I used to have Wings season tickets back in.
That's when it started. Or
I mean, at least locally.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I mean, if somebody wants to
I don't think
shoot me down here.
For that out
but
there.
I used to go. Me and my dad had Wings season tickets because they were extremely affordable. It was the only season ticket affordable. And this was I want to say 97, 98. I was going.
Okay.
And anytime the opposition got introduced, the whole stadium would go sucks. And to my knowledge, that's the first time I remember hearing it. And then Sunday, little day game out in Colorado, 3:10 start. Our sweet, adorable boy Ranger
doesn't suck.
Goes against Cal Quantrill, who has been serviceable this year, bordering on competent. But the other two guys that the Phillies are going to face, Lefty and Ty and Dakota Hudson. They both suck. So once again, Renee, I think we're on the doorstep of 16 consecutive series by the Phillies.
Without losing.
I think you got to give a little more credit to Quantrill than you have there.
I said he's been good.
He gave up 12 runs in his
3.5 ERA.
He gave up 12 runs in his first 3 starts.
44 strikeouts.
He's made 7 starts and given up 10 since then.
Yeah,
he's been much better.
He's been their best pitcher.
That bad, or are the Phillies just that good? Both can be correct.
Going to the mall after school today.
I am starting to feel like the Phillies are just good. They're just very good guys. And when you look at other teams' pitchers and you're like, oh, that guy's not good, but this pitcher's good, but that guy's not good. We don't have these issues with the Phillies right now because everybody that's taking the field for them on any given day is good. And another chance to continue the unbeaten series streak.
My cousin is just leaving a game at Wrigley. And baseball's hard for some people. I don't know if people can see that, but he took a picture of 2 kids in his section just passed out in the bleachers after the game.
They're leaned over sleeping though.
Oh yeah, they're passed out.
I think passed out is like, you just drop like narcoleptic drop.
No.
But they're like, I'm tired and this is boring and I'm going to just snuggle up and go to sleep.
I'd venture to say confidently that they had over 10 beers today and are passed the F out. And one piece of breaking news that just popped up in our Discord, and you can join our Discord by becoming a diehard here at PHLY. Apparently, robo-umps are not going to be a part of the game next year, according to an AP report. No yet. So the robo-umps, it looks like, not going to be a part of Major League Baseball in 2025. So Angel Hernandez lives on in our dreams and our nightmares.
Why does Angel Hernandez still have a job? How many people does he have to kick out? How many times do people have to complain about him? He's always trending on Twitter. People can't stand him. We can't stand him. And yet he still is hired.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So big thanks today. Not only to our producer, Tyler, who has to deal with our nonsense, including Renee bringing up 2 girls, 1 cup.
I still don't understand the issue.
We're just going to, never looked at that video ever, whatever you do. And big thank you to not only our good friends at Miller Lite right here. Cheers to the Phils and 37 and 14. That's very, very good. Big shout out to Gall & Co. for bringing in the kielbasa Witterwadowski cheesesteak, which is just phenomenal, and the tray of wings right in front of us there, which I ate to my heart's content with. Delicious wings. We are going to be broadcasting from the Gall & Co. June 8th and 9th. 1 in Rockledge, 1 in Port Richmond. I can't wait to see the Port Richmond one. I've been to the Rockledge location before. Port Richmond is an old church with 35-foot vaulted ceilings.
The aesthetic there apparently is really nice.
Yeah, really looking forward to doing that. So if you would like to join us for the London series, June 8th and 9th, presented by Miller Lite, live at Gall & Co., head to allphly.com. There's an events tab right up top. You click on that, you'll see the 2 London series games as those are quickly approaching. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A 10-10 start and a 1-10 start, I believe, are the 2 start times for the London games. So looking forward to that. Renee, Tyler, and John are going to be back with you tomorrow night for the Phillies postgame show. The Phillies, ho-hum, win again.
They win again. I want to give a shout out also to our friends that joined us because we had a lot of you guys turn out and join us for our pregame watch along and postgame show. For the hundreds of you on YouTube right now, for the thousands of you on Twitter, make sure that you guys are hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing, keeping up to date, because the exciting part is, as you're mentioning, Jamie, we are just really getting started. We've got more watch-alongs. We've got more events coming your way that you can hang out with us IRL, in real life, as the kids say, but I'm bumped.
And be able to hang with us.
I know. I'm getting old. I'm getting old is what's happening because I think I'm funny and I'm not.
Ooh.
So you guys get a chance to hang with us and have some fun because it is a pleasure. 4+ hours, as K-Red is saying, of hanging, shooting the shit.
I have something.
Talking.
I have a comment to address here. Spiral out.
Oh, boy.
Spiral out. You're clearly a Jersey person. Don't you put that stink on Pennsylvania drivers. Now, all drivers are terrible about driving right and passing left. All drivers. It's a New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware thing. I have charted on road trips. You New Jersey, bring Addie in, and I will. We took note one day.
No, you did not.
I swear to God.
You wrote it down on paper?
Well, no, I was telling her. I go, here's another one.
Oh.
Jersey drivers were the worst at driving in the left lane and not passing. So don't bring that stink in here, spiral out.
I see Pennsy
you Jersey
drivers.
People drive in the left lane and don't pass.
Whoa. Excuse me.
Yeah, you Jersey people.
Don't yell at us.
Yeah.
Spiral, I got you. Don't yell at us.
You guys stink at it, you claim all high and mighty that we drive right and pass left. Bullshit.
Okay, well, how about Pennsy drivers stop making left turns from right lanes?
Jug handles are stupid.
How about you guys learn that a stop sign is not a yield sign?
It's called a California stop.
Jug handle actually helps tremendously to minimize accidents because you guys like to run. You like to run reds, and that's not the reds I'm talking about. The amount of times I see Pennsy drivers, the light is red and there's no car coming, so they go. What are you doing? Running red lights, running through stop signs, making left turns 3 lanes over in the right side. You would never see that in Jersey. That's why we have jug handles, and that's why we drive responsibly. Thank you, Spiral, for bringing that to your attention.
I'm driving to the shore tomorrow, and I'm going to start calling them out to Addie.
All right.
Write another one down.
So because we're all about to get ready,
driving, and now lives in Philly, I've seen it all from both sides.
The hubris of Jersey drivers.
And you guys, because we drive safe. You guys drive like the car's on fire.
No. We're getting out of here. Everybody's about to enjoy their weekend.
You guys are out of control.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Everybody be safe.
We can all agree the worst drivers are from Connecticut.
Or the DMV. Oh.
DMV's pretty bad.
Connecticut can't drive. DMV can't drive. We as Jersey, PA, Delaware need to come together.
We do need to come together. Y'all need some jug handles.
That actually can't drive that can't drive.
You need some jug handles.
New Jersey drivers got a lot of balls. All right.
We drive safely. Stop it with this. But I will say,
stop clogging up the left lane, Jersey.
Tyler brings up a valid point. It shouldn't be us versus you guys because outside of this area, it's bad. When I drive other places, you got everybody Sunday cruising on like a Wednesday. People drive slow. People don't know that. The other thing actually with Pennsy drivers, I will say is, do you know what a blinker is? Is that a thing? Can you please use a blinker?
I will agree with you on that.
Stop slumming down.
I am terrible with using my
turn signal.
Terrible.
Steve Garrison gets it. He says New Jersey has the worst drivers, and I'm in South Jersey.
Put on a blinker.
Yes, they're horrible.
Use your blinker.
Do you even know how to pump your own gas? All right, that's going to do it for us here today.
My dad taught me when I was.
Well, good job, Mr. Washington. That's me and Tyler's buddy.
I can change a tire. I can pump my own gas, and I possibly could change the oil if I needed to.
When you just said I pump my own gas, it reminded me of the line you said earlier from Big Daddy.
I pump my own gas.
But I wipe my own ass. And the Phillies are wiping the asses of Major League Baseball all over the place this year. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. We mean it. We're trying to build the most fun Phillies community out there, and we appreciate you guys all along for the ride. Please come hang out with us June 8th and 9th for the London series. I promise it'll be a lot of fun. Everybody, this is my last day of the week, so have a great Memorial Day weekend. Make sure you're checking out Renee and Tyler and John tomorrow night as the Phillies start putting the work to the Colorado Rockies. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone, and we will see you, or I will see you again on Tuesday, actually filling in for the Anthony Gargano show. So hopefully I'll see you then on Tuesday.
That's a long goodbye.
You guys are going to miss me.
Such a long goodbye, Jamie.
You're going to miss me next week.
I don't know. We had today was quite a day.
We're only doing one show.
But today was I think today was a great way to end. We just were on the show together for like 6 hours. We talked about a lot of things.
New Jersey drivers suck. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.